Hello and welcome to Coffee with Keerthi. Today we have with us the co-founder of SpiderG, Ashwani Rathore. He's also had other startup that we will talk about, and I've known Ashwani for a very long time, and he's been doing quite a awesome work in terms of helping a lot of micro businesses, SMEs, and MSMEs. Um, in fact, my startup and Ashwani's startup also had a little bit of work done previously. So, Ashwani, welcome to Coffee with Keerthi. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting. I'm good.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Ashwani. Thanks for coming on Coffee with Keerthi. So, Ashwani, we'll directly dive into questions. So, tell me about your journey before you started off SpiderG or the co-founder of SpiderG, and how you came to what how did this idea come to you, and a little background before that. We'll talk about your other startup also that you sold and you
Correct.
exited, but your journey.
Yeah. So I'm from an IT lab. Right after my graduation, BTech engineer, I started working as most of us in Cognizant Technology Solutions. Then
Mhm.
I worked briefly for Talentica as a software engineer.
Okay.
Then I happened to start this one of my school buddies, Mom's Kitchen.
Okay.
So it was one of the first food tech venture where we started organizing the homely cooked food delivery to the end uh, and bachelors like us, and then
Okay.
it expanded to the lunch food to a lot of corporates. So we're doing pretty well.
Mhm.
The only problem we did is we started giving dabbas on credit,
Okay.
and we ended up in a lot of credit crunch.
Uh-huh.
But we were delivering close to 1,000 dabbas a day, and it was
Wow.
a good start. Good this thing. We were having 3 centers in Pune,
Mhm.
one in Delhi, so it was
Mhm.
good, expanding good. And then me and Vinam
Mhm.
Pandya was my co-founder, who later went on to join Tasty Khana, and then
Okay. Nice.
started uh, Qtrove.com.
Okay.
So we deliberately decided that we should exit now because we were too young for that time to keep on this thing. Then we exited that startup. We
Okay.
actually sold our customer base to one of the large food
Okay.
corporate. And then I happened to join India Co Ventures Limited, which was a kind of a private equity firm based out of Pune.
Okay.
And over there, my job was a technical analyst.
Okay.
And I used to analyze companies based on their technology and give my inputs to the investment committee based on that.
Okay.
And post that, I got an opportunity to work with Goldman Sachs and Indian School of Business
Mhm.
program, 10,000 Women Entrepreneurship Program, where I
Okay.
became India business consultant for them. And
Okay.
then that's how my interaction with these lot of small companies started.
Mhm.
I started understanding their problems.
Mhm.
So majorly one common theme was that all of them used to struggle to keep their books properly, and all of
Okay.
them used to keep accounting as used to treat accounting as a monster.
Uh-huh.
And obviously it was not core to any of the business operation, but it becomes core because they fear a lot of
Right.
tax issues, regulatory issues, and all those things.
Right.
And it starts consuming major of their mind share and time share.
Uh-huh.
So that was on my back of the mind. Then I happened to go for my MBA from AM
Mhm.
Manila,
Mhm.
came back and started this as a consulting firm. And over
Okay.
a period of time, during the consulting, we realized that we need to come up with a product
Mhm.
which can automate that,
Okay.
and hence the SpiderG. So
Okay.
we realized that the biggest problem of these companies is they face problem in money collection. Like for example, their own receivables is not coming in their account on time.
Right.
It's also because of the problem of us Indian not paying on time. And until unless we're not budged, we're not poked, we don't pay.
Right.
So that's how we designed the system according to that.
Okay.
And we started recurring invoicing use case where
Okay.
most of these small businesses, they have a problem of collection because all these businesses deal with large number of customers and are collecting same amount every month.
Okay. Right.
So we started focusing on them and onboarded close to 15,000 of such businesses.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, tell me about SpiderG. So, SpiderG is basically a on-time payment collection and one-click payment disbursement app for micro businesses, right? So,
Yes.
how does SpiderG work? What when a small business downloads SpiderG on their phone, how does it work? What is the working of it?
Yeah. So what happens is like all these small businesses which provide services to their customer and collect the monthly payment.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, we provide uh, they can download the SpiderG and start sending monthly recurring invoices to their end customer. So our customer profile is like cable operators,
Okay.
uh, gym operators, second tier gym operators,
Okay.
tuition class operators, Zumba classes, yoga
Okay.
classes, coaching classes,
Okay.
school bus operators. So they have a
Wow.
unique pattern. Milk vendors, newspaper vendors. So they have a uh, unique problem that they collect same amount of money from their customers every month, and
Right.
they deal in large number of customers.
Right.
So it gets very difficult for them to track who's paying and who's not paying.
Absolutely.
Even though they might be using applications like Google Pay, Phone Pay,
Right.
Paytm. So they end up using 5 or 6 different applications, and their customers are using different application to pay. So
Right.
it gets a reconciliation mess. Say, for example, a cable operator who's having close to 500 customers, it gets a reconciliation mess for them,
Mm-hmm.
who's paying and who's not paying. So that's how SpiderG sends a SMS or an email to their end customer with a payment link.
Mm-hmm.
Their end customers can click on that link
Mm-hmm.
and see a invoice, mobile browser. They don't need to download the application.
Okay.
Click
Okay.
on pay through the mobile browser, pay
Okay.
now, and the money gets settled in their account. That's how that this is.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
everyone,
Awesome.
this is automated.
Okay.
So they
Awesome.
don't need to send everyone. Huh?
Awesome. I think it's a very big problem for the micro businesses to for the SMEs and MSMEs that they have this problem of collection, and I think you're solving an important problem.
Yeah,
Now,
correct.
so you said you have about 15,000 plus
Yeah.
micro
Micro
businesses
business.
that you're helping. So
Correct.
where are these guys coming from? Are they just Pune based, Mumbai based, across India?
No,
Uh, what
yeah.
is the mix?
So we are there in close to 17 states as of now,
Oh, wow,
and
that's
all
nice.
these businesses are there in close to 50 plus cities.
Oh,
So
wow.
we acquire them digitally mostly, and
Okay,
they download the application. They can start using the application.
okay,
So spread all across these segments. So uh, most of these customer base is spread across uh, cable operators, tuition
uh,
class operators, school bus operators,
okay,
rental service providers. Rental service providers means companies which are renting TV, fridge, AC, aqua guards on rent
okay,
and collecting money. So all these customers, even medical equipment companies which are given on rent,
okay.
these are our customer base.
Awesome, awesome. Um, so I've come to your office and I've seen that you have a fantastic culture, right?
Huh.
Talk about SpiderG's culture. I've seen you have a really nice team, and I also want to know how you guys are coping this COVID-19. More earlier, you used to have a lot of fun stuff, and now it's all virtual. How is it all working out for you?
So the team is we've been together for a while now, and
Uh-huh.
the major part of the team culture is trust between, like, for example, it starts with me. I trust my team, they trust me, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually, so it's based on the mutual trust.
Mm-hmm.
And if we operate like a very close knit unit where we
Mm-hmm.
actually allow failures to happen,
Okay.
and all we need to do is make sure that the same failures are not repeated again and again.
Okay.
And that's how the team is the main part of the team is the trust. I need to trust them, they need to trust me,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
it's about this is the major part, because the bonding between the team is the critical part. So it's not about one pulling another's leg and we trying to
Mm-hmm.
pull each other down, mistrust, this thing.
Okay.
All this is not. It's all about the collective failure and the collective success.
Okay.
That's how we work.
Awesome. Awesome. Talking.
Regarding the
Yeah.
COVID-19 situation, yeah, problem is there, the cash flow problem is there, but we stick together. We've been through a lot of time, ups and downs. So
Uh-huh.
I think we will sail this.
Okay, okay. So talking about failures, ups and downs and stuff, tell me about, being a startup entrepreneur is not easy, and running a startup that caters to more than 15,000 businesses is not an easy thing. So tell us about your, the learnings that you have gone through in during this journey. It must not have been overnights, that
Yeah,
15,000 people just came in and said, here's the
I think
business.
biggest learning is, like, for example, look, there are several kind of ways to grow your business,
Mhm,
and the major part is you need to either you want to grow the business as a product centric business, or a
mhm,
marketing centric business, or a sales centric business.
mhm, mhm.
So we actually shifted from a sales centric business to marketing centric to the product centric.
Okay.
So where the product becomes the core and it drives everything for you.
Mhm,
So initially, when we were not so perfect with the product, we were actually trying to push things through sales.
mhm,
That is a difficult, costly, and this thing. Marketing, we obviously everybody tries that hand in Facebook marketing and all those things. That is also not working. But
mhm,
now you're focusing more on the inbound based marketing,
mhm,
and product is the core.
mhm,
Second thing is your team needs to you need to actually percolate your vision down the team,
mhm.
and even your last mile customer facing support guy has to carry the same vision.
Right.
That becomes a very important part, and your customer should feel proud and happy the way you are actually delivering your services to them.
Right.
They need to feel special. They need to be valued for the time and money they are giving to you. That
Mhm.
is the key. So
Okay.
it's all about basics of the business. We forget the basics in between,
Mhm.
and eventually we come down back to the basics.
Okay. Okay. Great. 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 So, tell me about fundraising. It's a full
Yeah,
time job, right? So,
yeah, it's a good thing.
how
So
much
I've
have you
raised.
guys raised?
So we have raised close to 5.8 CR till date,
Okay.
and we've raised from a lot of angels and family offices. We're raising our next round.
Okay.
I would say two things about the fundraise is you need to plan it well,
Uh-huh.
and you need to plan it well, and you need to you need to have a time period of close to 6 months before you actually get the money into bank. So you need to
Mm-hmm.
plan it well according to your traction, according to the story you want to sell.
Right.
And fundraise is possible at every stage, so don't worry about the stage.
Right.
It's possible at every stage. Uh, there's no linkage between the performance of your business to the fundraise, and that's what I've learned. You need to network very very well. You need to sell a high story,
Mm-hmm.
and
Uh-huh.
you need to then actually perform that story with your execution.
Wow.
So
Wow.
fundraise is more about network. You need to have a very strong network. You need to go and meet people.
Mm-hmm.
Keep 6 month time in all this process. So 6 months is actually the bare minimum time it is required for that. Even if you are not meeting, you need to go and see these guys, be present in certain events. That's
Uh-huh.
how it is.
That's great. Great. So, tell me about milestones. You've been running this for almost what, 2, 3 years now, and
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah. So
what
what we're
has
looking
been
at
the
is
milestone?
right now. Yeah, so right now looking to raise pre-series A now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so after this, we will start expanding globally, expanding all pan India in terms of payment in and payment out. So we'll become a kind of a neo banking player.
Okay.
And after that, major focus is to get close to 1 million businesses on board. So that
Okay.
is the target for 2022, March 2022. We're thinking that.
Okay.
And post that, we don't want to plan too much ahead. So it is a 1 year, 2 year plan we have in mind. We
Okay.
first want to achieve that, and then we'll see where we want to go from there.
Okay. Okay. So, now there are other payment options also, like you said, not just Google Pay and everything, but
Correct.
also new banking. I
Correct.
come across, in fact, a friend of mine is running a new banking app business
Correct.
also. So how is SpiderG different? How is how
Yeah.
what is your unique? selling point? What is your USP?
So I think the unique selling point is we are focused towards more of a one problem solving, which is of collection of smaller businesses. We target only those businesses which would have inherent collection problem because of their business model. Like for example, you would have a problem of collection if you're dealing with large number of customers. So all of our customers, micro merchants have large number of customer base. So they run into this problem of collection, and we are solving this collection problem. Payment applications are not as such our competitor, but can be a replacement for us, but they doesn't solve the problem. Because like for example, micro merchant use Paytm application or a Google Pay application, but that is not solving the reconciliation problem. They don't know who's paying and who's not paying.
Absolutely.
It is one of the method to, say for example, collect money, but it is not a compulsory application. It might be a compulsory application from a payment point of, from the payee point of view. Like for example, you and I can use any application and can use any method to pay, but the same guy has to originate all these requests from SpiderG. That is the main key. So we want to become a kind of a only one stop application for these guys. So it's we are actually also solving their customer ledger point. So like all the ledgers are automatic updated, so you don't need to do bookkeeping and all those things. That is the. And regarding the neo banking part, the benefit of us is because we wanted to hold on to this target, and this target has a unique need of, like, because you cannot become a neo banking player if you're not targeting a specific segment and if you're not targeting a specific problem. Because anyway, banking applications are as good as any of these fintech applications. But if you can solve a problem, can get into their mobile space, and then become a player where you can scale it and replace other banking applications. Because it's not a function of good UI UX. It is also a function of core problem which we are trying to solve. That becomes it. Yeah.
Awesome. So you talked about product focused strategy. Now talking about the future of SpiderG, how much is artificial intelligence and specifically blockchain on your cards? What
blockchain is there.
Yeah.
Blockchain is already there in this thing. We maintain all ledgers through a centralized ledger base, and we use blockchain technology in terms of ledger updation and all those things. Because every invoice we treat it as a unique invoice, and every customer is a node for us. That's how this entire infrastructure works. Blockchain we are already using. Artificial intelligence and MIML we're actually using for sending automated reminders. So we're not writing our own NLP engine. We're using Google, some of the Google infrastructure, some of the AWS infrastructure, where we're utilizing these technologies to build use cases on top of that. So we don't want to become an actual AI. We're not writing our own NLP engine. We're not developing our own blockchain infrastructure. So we're utilizing existing APIs which are already there in the market. But we are definitely utilizing all these technologies.
All right. I think it's better to not reinvent the wheel because it's already.
So we're not reinventing. We don't reinvent anything.
Awesome.
First of all, we realize what is our strength and what is our this thing. Our strength is identifying the customer's problem, and actually solving them with the existing technology stack which is already there through APIs all across the world. So I don't want to become a Superman and develop something, challenge Google. First of all, we don't have resources to do that. Second one is that is not our goal also.
Okay. So within your customer segment, who do you see as a major category in terms of doodwalas or tuition teachers? Which is that category of people who are more inclined to download SpiderG and are using?
Initially, we started with PG hostels, tuition classes, and all. So they have a large problem because they're also inclined towards technology also. Because most of our customer segment is now having smartphone. We all know that everybody uses WhatsApp now. We all know everybody has a Facebook account now. So teaching them technology is not a big thing. SpiderG is designed in such a simple way that they understand this. But the major segment and uptake which we had in the past and is by tuition class operators, fitness category segment, school bus operators, and now in the lockdown situation, cable operators are the largest customer base which we are having. Because cable operators are providing their services in the lockdown situation, but they're not able to step out to collect money. So we present a unique situation for us to help them collect their money faster.
Awesome. So I have two last questions. One, the big vision. What is that big picture vision for SpiderG in 5 to 10 years time? Where do you see SpiderG going?
I think we wanted to become a one-stop application for these businesses, small businesses. And we want to combine banking with application usage. Like for example, we all know that we've all heard of, say for example, several CRM applications.
Right.
But we know none of us uses those CRM applications because none of them have been designed in the way it has to be.
Right.
So all these, like for example, right now we're tackling only one solution, which is a collection of all these segments. And then what we can do is after we grow us to a certain level, we can start going to one level down and start focusing on the segment specific use cases. Like for example, tuition class wala. They also need a CRM application to actually manage the leads which are they are trying to generate on Facebook, Sulekha and everything. They need to, so all these things can be incorporated in the application. Then possibly we can actually take them to the lending use case, because once their entire cash flow starts flowing through us, it becomes a good case for us to start writing credit for them, or maybe connecting them to various NBFCs or banks. So that is the second case. Third is that we can actually service their entire application needs and this thing through SpiderG. So this is one big thing. We want to hold on to this segment and grow around that.
Awesome. So for the benefit of the audience, I want to know, see, I think I have also used SpiderG a little bit, and I think what you guys are trying to do is when you nudge the people to make those payments, I think all this happens similar to what happens on WhatsApp. It's like a chat kind of an interface you have. Do you want to talk about that? How easy you guys have made it, the payment, the process?
Yeah. So what happens is like for example, the moment one invoice goes, and if a customer doesn't pay, the micro merchants can get to see whether the invoice has been opened, not opened, seen, not seen. That kind of an invoice tracker which we can see on a Gmail mail tracker. So then these guys knows this guy is opening the invoice and still not paying that. So that kind of a notification and reminders get set to his customer. And the severity level of that notifications is managed by artificial intelligence tool which we are using. And that actually leads to some case like without distorting the relationship between the micro merchants and its customer. Because in India mein ek problem ye bhi hai ki people don't ask their own money. And they fear that problem of relationship distortion, relationship problem खराब हो जाएगा. That is why. तो हम वो क्या करते हैं ना कि कुछ अगर गड़बड़ भी होता है ना तो SpiderG के ऊपर डाल दो कि वो SMS भेजता है ऑटोमेटेड रिमाइंडर्स. और फिर क्या होता है कि 300-400 के लिए क्या ना कि कस्टमर सोचते हैं बार-बार SMS और ये सब आ रहा है, let us pay. So it's kind of we have designed in a way that we incorporated those psychological problems, those intricacies of the relationship between my customer and his customer. All these things have been taken in factor, and that is how I think we're very successful in establishing ourselves as a collection application.
Nice. I think you have understood your customer really, really well. That's most important, right? So one last question. Last question. So message for an entrepreneur who wants to either start a fintech, company or just a startup. Like you also said, raising funds is definitely important, and you need to have that runway planned and all of that. You also gave that 6 months ka aapko time plan karna and all of that. So what is that one message that you would want to give to entrepreneurs?
I think first thing is they need to understand their customer properly. And they need to build something with their customer love,
Mhm.
not build something which their investors would love to hear.
Okay.
Because all these words, like for example, I keep on hearing a lot of these words, AI, ML, blockchain, and all those things.
Uh-huh.
Your customer won't understand a shit about these words and
Right.
won't care about that.
Right.
So all these things are back-end things. Like for example, your customer will never understand the benefit out of that. So
Correct.
build that, show them as a customer benefit, but take both the things separately and don't mix that. Like for example, building your business is separate from your fundraising part.
Correct.
The moment you start mixing,
Right.
you will start posturing yourself more towards investor side. Your
Right.
entire activity regarding marketing your product and listing, it would be more focused towards the pink newspaper you must be reading
Uh-huh.
and the funding news which you must get influenced. That
Okay.
becomes a problem.
Right.
And that has happened with us also, because a lot of funding news coming on, you think that okay, this is the thing which is getting funded, so let's add those words into my pitch also, and
Oh
let's try to
wow.
do something. That
Yeah.
becomes a problem.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to copy the trends, right? ये
Yeah,
trending है, so let's just add those AI ML words and
yeah,
all of that. And I think what you're
correct.
saying is right. So thank you so much, Ashwani, for coming on Coffee with Keerthi. I think this particular interview has been more about customer centric, product centric. I think you are what I've come across is you're a very modest person, and you don't you're not that loud kind of a person, but you do the work very silently. That's what you are,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
love
thank you
what
so
I'm
much.
doing. I love my customer. Yeah, yeah. I love my customers. I love my people. I love my team.
Right.
So it's more about building. Like I'm a kind of a. I idolize more Rahul Dravid. So I'm that kind of a person जो अपना
Yes.
काम करता रहेगा.
Yes.
So I'm not very flamboyant on that part.
I know. So thank you so much for coming on Coffee with Keerthi. I really appreciate sharing your story and your insights. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.